Hi guys, welcome back to this retro Manchester City save. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a game away at Sunderland, followed by a home game against Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League. As you can see at the bottom left here, we've looking really good in the league table, currently standing in 4th place, 3 points behind Leeds, and 2 points ahead of both Newcastle and Leicester, with Chelsea a further point adrift there. And to be quite honest, I wasn't expecting to be doing as well as we are. We've had a really strong start to the campaign, and since you were last with us for the Chelsea and West Ham games, we really struggled against Derby. It was a tough game, but we just couldn't seem to get going in it. We then managed a 2-0 win against bottom club Watford, so I was quite pleased with that performance. We absolutely battered Tottenham, and we had a 94th minute goal disallowed, but it finished 0-0 in the end. We were really unlucky in that game, but we followed it up with a really good 3-0 win at home to Blackburn Rovers. So as you can see, home form, really good. Away form, a little bit sketchy at times. So hopefully we can improve our away form with this game against Sunderland and then follow it up at the home game against Sheffield Wednesday. So as we get ready for the game, like I say, we're in decent form, and I'm hoping that we can continue in that manner. Whether we will or not, I'm not entirely sure, because Sunderland are currently in mid-table, but we'll see how we do. So for this game, I'm just having a look at the squad. Sean Wright Phillips we want on the bench for sure. Probably ahead of Wayne Bridge, I would have said. Stephen Carr is there. John Terry's not fully fit. We are struggling for fitness in terms of our defensive options, which is a bit of an annoyance, but hopefully we can do okay. And in terms of strikers, Andy Johnson's there. Humphreys isn't fully fit, so we'll get Sibierski on the bench again. And we'll bring Michael Carrick onto the bench, I think, for John Terry, who isn't fully fit. Kevin Davies isn't fully fit, actually, either, so we'll actually start Wright Phillips again. So we've got Weaver in goal, Ashley Cole, Gareth Barry, Jagielka and Smith at the back. Parker and Toure are the midfield pair, with Lampard currently out injured. We've got Duff, Murphy and Wright Phillips in behind Kyle Court. Hopefully we can get another good result today and continue with our push for something that I didn't believe we were capable of, but at the moment we're looking quite good to potentially qualify for Europe this season. Again, all I wanted to do was get to that 40-point mark, and that is still my preliminary target, and to try and ensure that we're safe for next season. As you look at the side there for Sunderland, they've had 4 draws in their last 5 league games, the other one being a defeat, so they're struggling to get wins at the moment. But hopefully we will do okay, and we can either inflict another loss on them or maybe even get a draw. I think considering they're proving themselves tough to beat at the moment, I think a draw would be a good result, to be honest, but we do want that win. This is Yaya Toure into Sean Wright Phillips. He has support ahead of him if he can find it. He's turned the fullback brilliantly there, and the overlapping run's been made by Mark Smith. Now Yaya Toure looks over the top here. Sean Wright Phillips gets onto it, and he manages to fling it in, and it's been bundled in the end. It's Danny Murphy with the goal. There was a hint of offside maybe on that right hand side at one point, but the goal will stand anyway. Really good start, 15 minutes gone. Danny Murphy with his 3rd of the season, and we are looking good here. Sunderland yet to create any opportunity. Right, Phillips with the delivery from the set piece, and it was almost a goalkeeping error by Oakes there, but he manages to make the claim. And from that he delivers it forward, but there's no support from the Sunderland strikers there, and Mark Smith dealt with it easily and found Ashley Cole. Parker into Gareth Barry now, lays it out wide. Ashley Cole does well to get onto it here. He has support arriving in the penalty area. He plays it back to the edge for Danny Murphy. Yaya Toure's in space, and he passed it to Court, and then he found Damien Duff. I mean, Yaya Toure had the space for a strike there. He's yet to score since he's been able to play, and but he is that more defensive of the midfielders, so hopefully um, if he gets a chance like that again, he might just have a goal, but we'll see. And Sunderland holding on to the ball at the back well here. Kevin Phillips lays it forward. Now Scott Parker. Well won in the air by Gareth Barry. Couldn't find Sean Wright Phillips. Now Johnston. Looks over the top here. And the danger man, Kevin Phillips, is in. And Kevin Phillips scores. I'm not sure what Nicky Weaver was doing there. It's very poor from him. And Kevin Phillips has brought Sunderland back level here. Very poor from Nicky Weaver. I mean, look where he's finished there. He's outside of his own penalty area. Shocking from Nicky Weaver. And it is 1-1. Mansell with the delivery into the penalty area. It's headed away, only as far as Woodgate, who nods it back in. Smith gets it away. Sean Wright-Phillips further away. Court gets there. Lays it back to Scott Parker. Now Danny Murphy. We're doing well in quite a restricted area of the pitch there. And Ashley Cole finds Damien Duff. He needs a bit of support, Duff. He does well. Lays it back to Gareth Barry. Scott Parker now in the centre to Ashley Cole. Now Damien Duff. He loses out in the end to Kieran Dyer. We worked so hard to keep hold of the ball there, and he's just lost it very easily. And this is Sionko down the right-hand side. Sionko plays it in, and it's bundling about in the penalty area, and we've managed to get it away. We just need to get a little bit more solid here. It's been a little bit poor since we scored, and Sunderland are right back in this, and they're playing slightly better in the last 10 minutes or so. As such, it is still 1-1. The highlights have finally come to a close for a little while. And here's Danny Murphy into Sean Wright-Phillips. Needs a little bit of support. He tried to knock it over the top of Jonathan Woodgate, but he cleared it well. And Manso into Johnston. He's beaten Mark Smith for pace. It's Johnston now. Plays it in, and it's a comfortable claim for Nicky Weaver. The thing is, Mark Smith is very well adapted to play centre-back or right-back. I think he's stronger at centre-back, but clearly, in terms of our strength and depth, he's our best right back as well over Stephen Carr and Danny Mills. And this is Johnston. Mark Smith does well and plays it into Nicky Weaver. Ashley Cole's the man that's in space on this left-hand side if they can work it out there. And we're just knocking it about at the back, a little bit dangerously. Kevin Phillips was lurking there, but this is Ashley Cole into Damien Duff. Has support in the centre, but again he loses it cheaply, and this is Sionko now, and he fires it in. Jagielka gets it away, and Johnston fires it in, and it's cleared away again, and it's come to Fink, who plays it into Johnston, and Phillips. It's a good save from Nicky Weaver, but again, Damien Duff losing possession on that left-hand side, and somehow he's still at a 6.8. We have a set piece here with a free kick. It's Danny Murphy to take. Hopefully we can get ahead again here, and it's a brilliant effort. It's skimmed the top of the netting, but it remains one apiece. It would have been against the run of play, to be honest, if we'd have scored that goal. But as such, at half-time, it is 1-1. And it's been an eventful first half, but hopefully for the second half, we can just sort ourselves out a little bit. It's been a little bit poor at times, and we really need to be on point in the second half to keep the pressure in them top four places. Sunderland straight away with an opportunity at the start of the second half with Manso from the corner, and it's headed from Jonathan Woodgate. It's just over the crossbar, and it remains one apiece. Scott Parker has had a poor game so far, as has Carl Court, and Sean Wright-Phillips is struggling today as well, but defensively we've not been too bad. Jagielka's the man that's been struggling largely at the back, but I think we need to ask for a little bit more from the side, to be honest. It's been a little bit wayward so far today, but we are going to make some changes now. And Scott Parker is on a yellow card, so we're going to bring him off and bring Michael Carrick on. Kevin Davis is just coming back to fitness, but we're going to bring him on for Sean Wright-Phillips, who's had a quiet game. Carl Court is going to come off as well, and we're going to bring Antoine Sibierski on up front, I think, today. And Craig Bellamy we're going to bring on for Damien Duff. He's lost the ball a few times today, Damien Duff, and I think he's had a poor game, to be honest, but that will be that. I think actually we're going to bring a more natural right back on. We're going to bring Danny Mills on, and we're going to move Mark Smith back into centre back, and hopefully that will shore things up a little bit on that right hand side. So the substitutes hopefully will take place momentarily, and they have now taken place, so hopefully we can push on a little bit better in this second half with those changes that we've made. It's a good clearance from Yaya Torres. Sibierski couldn't quite beat Voss to it. Now Fink moving on this left-hand side. Now Johnston. Good clearance by Gareth Barry. Now Danny Murphy. He has support ahead of him. Finds Craig Bellamy. Good potential for a counter-attack here, but he needs support, Bellamy. And he's still got it. He hits the bar line, but he cuts it back to Sibierski. The two substitutes combining. And once again, the substitutions that we've made have certainly worked out well. Bellamy did superbly to hit to the bar line there, and he lays it back, and Sibierski knocks it in. He doesn't get many chances at the moment, Sibierski, but he's done really well there, and we have a 2-1 lead. And Danny Murphy with a deflected free kick, and it's clipped the crossbar on its way. It deflected off one of the other City players, in fact, and it's a goal kick. And as you can see, given the current state of affairs, we actually move up to third now in the Premier League. I can't imagine we're going to catch United or Liverpool by any means, but if we can stay in that top 8 of the Premier League, I will be very surprised, to be honest. Surely at some point we are going to hit a spell of form where we're going to really struggle. And as we head towards injury time, I don't want any more highlights in this game, to be honest. I'd be quite happy if it finishes 2-1. And we do have a highlight that's appeared here with Oakes. He looks to deliver long. Vastich was the target. Danny Mills did well to win the header. Carrick does well to clear. Now Kevin Davis into Yaya Toure. Danny Murphy now with space. Finds Antoine Sibierski. This to wrap up the win. Antoine Sibierski, it takes a deflection. And Oakes makes the claim right at the end of the game there. That could have secured the victory. Oakes looks to deliver long again. It's too little too late for Sunderland. It's a 2-1 win. We've done really well there. Excellent stuff. And we continue with our really good run of form. We weren't necessarily at our best, but we did really well to get the win. And like I say, the form continues and we move up to third. We did play on a Friday though, and the main part of the Premier League will be over the course of the Saturday and the Sunday, as it usually is. Just going to congratulate a few players in training, and then what we'll do, I'll just get through the current week off camera, and then we will come back for that game against Sheffield Wednesday at home, and hopefully we can continue our winning ways. And we will see how we get on momentarily. Okay guys, here we go for the home game against Sheffield Wednesday. Unfortunately, we've had a few injuries come through in this last week of training, and Damien Duff, Kevin Davis and Claudio Bravo are all going to miss out. Frank Lampard could potentially play, as could Michael Brown, but we'll have to wait and see how we line up and go from there. As you can see, there's been a number of games played during that week as well, not by ourselves but by a few other teams, but we still have a 2-point gap to Newcastle, but we've got a little bit of extra breathing room where Chelsea, Blackburn, Leicester and West Ham are concerned. So things are looking quite positive for us at the moment. And as you can see in the early kick-off, Liverpool beat Leeds by 4-1. So we have an opportunity with a win today to go ahead of Leeds. Michael Owen bagging 4 goals there, 2 of which were penalties. Liverpool currently going toe-to-toe with United for the Premier League title early doors. And they're 10 points clear of third place Leeds. So there's going to be a lot of catching up to do for any team that wants to challenge there. So for this game against Sheffield Wednesday, we're going to have Nicky Weaver in goal. Cole, Barry, Smith and Mills are at the back, with Parker and Toure in midfield. Bellamy, Sibierski and Wright Phillips are in behind Carl Court. Sibierski wants a bit extra game time and he scored in that last game, so I thought we'll start him today. Wright Phillips and Bellamy, of course, coming in for the injured Damien Duff and Kevin Davis, and Carl Court remains up front despite not doing too much in that last game against Sunderland. Hopefully we can continue the way we have been. Sheffield Wednesday did qualify for Europe last season, so it's far from an easy game, this one. And they've got the likes of King Cladsey, a former Manchester City cult hero. They've got Adrian Mutu in there and Francesco Sonetti, who, from what I've seen so far, he's potentially one of the best strikers you could possibly bring in on the game. His finishing and composure are phenomenal. And as a centre forward, he'd be a great signing for any team, to be quite honest, looking at the statistical side of things. So we're underway now, early on in the game. There's not a lot going on so far. We have our first highlight now though with Koblan looking into the penalty area. We managed to get it away and Sibierski does well to nod it on, but there's no support there. Cal Court's done superbly. I didn't think he was going to get there, and Cal Court is charging forward here. He hasn't got any support. Stefanovic brought him down and no foul given. Hinchcliffe back to Sullivan, who clears it well. Smith does well to win the header though. Scott Parker into Yaya Toure, who lofts it over the top here for Craig Bellamy. Plays it into Cal Court, who scores. There may have been an offside there. And judging by what I can see, they are looking at it. It's going to go to VAR. There was a hint of offside there. But the goal has been awarded. Cal Court with the goal. Bellamy with another assist. And we have a 1-goal lead here. I wasn't sure if that was going to count, but I'm really happy it has, obviously. And in terms of our pre-season targets, as things stand, we'd only be 7 points off that magical 40 that we were targeting, which is absolutely unbelievable considering the circumstances we found ourselves in coming up into the Premier League just last season. Zanetti does well, but couldn't beat Smith in the air. Now Yaya Toure. It's a poor pass from him looking for Parker. Now Ribeiro. Out wide to Lakis on that right hand side. Ashley Cole just unable to get onto it, and this is Kobayan now. Plays it across into the penalty area. Zanetti wins it, I think, and it finds Adrian Mutu, who's moving forward here for Sheffield Wednesday. Plays it into Zanetti. It's just over the bar. Really good effort there from Sheffield Wednesday, but it remains 1-0 in our favour. Possession-wise, it's very, very close, 50-50 so far, and we've done well. We've created a lot more chances than the opposition, but we have to maintain this domination and we have to get that second goal. This is Ashley Cole now. Into Gareth Barry. Yaya Toure with space. Scott Parker lays it forward to Antoine Sibierski. That's a brilliant pass over the top for Sean Wright Phillips now. Plays it into Kyle Court, and again, there's a hint of offside on that. Is this one going to count as well? We'll have to wait for VAR to have a look at it. Again, very, very close. It was a brilliant delivery from Wright Phillips for Court. Is he going to get away with it again? No, he isn't. It's been disallowed this time. It was a really well-worked move, though, and we are looking very positive going forward. But yeah, I did think that one was... it was another close call, but I did think that one was more offside than the previous one. This is Yaya Toure. Plays it in, and there's the header, and it's just over the top. I think it was Gareth Barry who had the header, and it remains 1-0. This is Hinchcliffe with the free kick, and it's a comfortable save for Nicky Weaver. He's been so good for us for the most part of the campaign so far, and it looks like he's going to try and deliver this long maybe here. Nope, he lays it out to the left-hand side here for Gareth Barry. Now Ashley Cole has support ahead of him. Looks for Sibierski. Mutu wins it, but Sibierski does well to win it back. And Cal Court with a brilliant pass. And Craig Bellamy now using his pace well, but the strike didn't have enough venom on it, and it was a comfortable save for goalkeeper Sullivan. And as we approach half-time here against Sheffield Wednesday, we have a 1-goal lead. We have been the better side, but I'm always concerned when it's just the 1 goal. Anything can happen at 1-0, and we've got to make sure that we don't bring in any complacency and that we continue to really fight for everything in this game and try and secure this result in our favour. As it stands, of course, we are going ahead of Leeds again into 3rd place. I wasn't expecting it, as I've said previously, but if we can be challenging for European places, considering we've only just come up, especially with such a young side that we have for the most part, I'm really optimistic for the future, and hopefully we can continue to increase in stature and ability with a number of our players. Here's Ashley Cole now down this left-hand side. He loses out to Lakis. Now Adrian Mutu looks over the top. Gareth Barry does well to win the header. Sibierski couldn't beat Mutu that time though. Zanetti into Ribeiro. Now Carboni. And Zanetti's in. He's got a lot of pace, Zanetti. Weaver does well, but couldn't keep it out, and Zanetti goes around him. It's 1-1, and like I say, that 1-0 is never ideal. There's a hint of offside, apparently. I'm not entirely sure why. I thought it was fine, that one. And the goal has been awarded. It is 1-1, and we're going to demand a little bit more here. We've had a number of yellow cards, which is a concern as well. Well, 3 of our back 4 are on yellow cards as well, which is not ideal. We're going to bring Danny Murphy on in the midfield. And I think we're going to bring Phil Jagielka on, and I think we're going to bring John Terry on as well, to be honest. I'm not liking having both centre-backs on bookings, to be honest, at the minute. Sean Wright Phillips is going to have to stay where he is, unfortunately. Who else have we got on the bench? Richie Humphries is going to come on for Antoine Sibierski, who has been a little bit poor today, and we'll just wait and see what happens. For the rest, Cal Court with an opportunity there, but the header was comfortable for Sullivan, and it remains 1-1. The substitutions have now gone through, and hopefully that extra security we have at the back, with both of our centre-backs no longer on yellow cards, will hopefully help us going forward. We're going to demand a little bit more. Sheffield Wednesday, like I said, they're not having a good season in particular this time round, but they did qualify for the Champions League last season, so we've got to be at our best, and hopefully we can finish the game strongly. Danny Mills into Richie Humphries. Plays it back to Phil Jagielka. Now John Terry. Ashley Cole looks forward here for Craig Bellamy, who does well, and he gets around the fullback. Craig Bellamy moving down this left-hand side. Opportunities for him to put it into the penalty area, and he does, and he finds Kyle Court. Plays it back to Humphries, and he's clipped the outside of the post against his former club there. That was a brilliant effort, and Cal Court, to be honest, could have just turned and had the shot himself, in my opinion. But we did well to create the opportunity. And here's John Terry now. Ashley Cole plays it forward. Humphries loses out, and it's Thompson into Sonetti and Carbone right at the end here. Ribeiro, oh, he's put it over the bar right at the very end there, and that is the last chance of the match. It's going to finish 1-1 here. We've done really well overall with a win and a draw in those two games, and hopefully, like I say, form will continue. We've got a couple of tough games coming up in the remainder of this month. And as you can see from the league table, 17 games played, we're sat in 4th place. Really, really positive. Even if we finish mid-table, I think it's a very good season. Obviously, considering where we stand at the moment, we do want to qualify for a European competition. But like I said, the target was always just to avoid the drop. Anything beyond that is huge, huge bonus. But we're doing really well at the moment, and hopefully we can continue. So looking at the actual schedule coming through now, so we've got Coventry away and Middlesbrough at home in the last 2 games of 2025 here, and I was thinking about coming back for the Forest game in the FA Cup, but it is a little bit soon, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll come back for, we'll get some extra games done. We'll come back from Middlesbrough away at the end of January, which is also transfer deadline day, and then we'll work our way all the way through to the Aston Villa game away in mid-February. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and put likes on the videos. All your support is greatly appreciated, and I will see you all next time. This is Big Will signing away.